Press play.
Replay, replay, replay.
You're watching Play Replay with Async. Now, recently Five Nights at Freddy's came out, and I'm going to date this video now because I'm saying recently, but I just kind of want to talk about animatronics in some horror movies with animatronics that are good, that at least that I've noticed. Anyway, I didn't actually go to see Five Nights at Freddy's, so I know a very small amount about it, but I know it has animatronics like Chuck E. Cheese and all that stuff. Like when you're a kid, you go see Chuck E. Cheese. They got the animatronics there and all that stuff. If you grew up in the 80s or the 90s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, that's where basically all this stuff is birthed from, pretty much. So you get a good idea that these things are going to be scary and they're going to want to come after you and kill you, basically. So right off the bat, that's kind of a good horror movie scenario. So I went and actually watched Willy's Wonderland. It's a movie produced by Nicolas Cage, who he actually acts in this movie, but he doesn't talk through the whole movie. It's from 2021, the movie. And it's just it's animatronics that you have to fight and basically survive the night in this place, kind of thing. I'm not going to give away the whole movie, but it's not a bad movie. It's kind of a B movie. There are some kind of cringy kind of elements to it that I kind of didn't like that's in it. And I kind of was like, well, I don't know, that's kind of weird. But like Nicolas Cage in a couple parts, there's these young teenagers, of course, that end up going into this building. And he's kind of working as a janitor in this place, trying to clean it up. And I'm not going to give away why and how this whole story plays out. But anyway, the animatronics are coming to life, basically. And, of course, these teenagers end up going in there, and there's more than enough of them, so you know somebody's going to die, obviously. And it's kind of plays out to where he takes breaks, and he's got this specific schedule to take his breaks for some reason he decided to do. Anyway, and it's like when he's on break, anything can happen in the whole building. It doesn't matter who's dying or whatever, he's just on break. And then once the break ends, he goes out and he kicks some butt and basically takes on these things, which is kind of strange because there's like a scene in the movie where he knows teenagers are probably dying, and somebody actually that's in the movie wants him to go and help, but he goes on break, and it's kind of like corny. And then by the time, and then when he goes to try to actually get to the place to open the door, you know it's happening, and then he just kind of walks, and it's like, so that's the only part of the movie that I really I just was having I was yelling at the screen, like, are you kidding me? This is what you're going to do? You're going to walk? I understand that the movie has kind of a gory sense of humor almost, but I mean, come on. You got to at least act like you're going to try to care to save these people. Otherwise, it just comes off as like a corny movie, you know? But other than that, the movie's pretty good. I think that there's a lot of cool little elements in it. And Nicolas Cage is he's like the silent type that because he doesn't talk throughout the whole movie, which is weird, but he doesn't talk. He just acts. And you kind of go along with him, and then of course there's a girl in it that basically talks to him, and you kind of get this feel through the girl, which is kind of a cool little element that they put in this movie to make it more entertaining and kind of have a twist to how this guy that doesn't talk can kind of play off this girl. And it's really kind of cool how they did that. And she's not a horrible actress either. So there's just elements of like it's basically like a killer type of thing where they're trying to kill you, but it's like animatronics instead, I guess. But I'm sure you're getting that from the idea of the movie. But it's just they're kind of it's kind of weird in the movie that the animatronics, they don't really gang up on people. I mean, there's multiple ones that will come after you at sometimes, but it's like when he fights these things, he's just brutal. He's just like, he just doesn't care and he's going to take on these things, and he's going to tear them apart, basically. And it's kind of like you have to make it through the night. That's kind of how this movie kind of feels. Like you have to survive the night at Willy's Wonderland, and it feels like Five Nights at Freddy's, pretty much. It's like they were trying to get to the Five Nights at Freddy story before the actual Five Nights at Freddy people could get to it. It's really strange, because I feel like when this movie was being made, I feel like they were making Five Nights at Freddy's. They had to have been. Because this came out in 2021. Now, in 2021, they probably had the script. Maybe they were working on it. I don't know. But I just know Five Nights at Freddy's just recently, not too long ago, came out. And it's kind of like this movie was trying to like get ahead of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is, I don't know why that seems, it just seems strange that this movie came out and it's like a knockoff of Five Nights at Freddy's in a sense. But anyway, it's just cool. It's not a, I think this movie, from what I've heard about Five Nights at Freddy's, I think Willy's Wonderland is more of the R-rated, more of adult version of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I think Five Nights at Freddy's was kind of more aimed at teens, so they didn't really want to have like a bunch of like horrible violence and guts and gore, you know. But this movie does have some blood and some kind of like violent kind of elements to it, probably far more than anything that the Five Nights at Freddy's movies would have. But it's a good movie overall, though. I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems with it. It kept me entertained, and I actually didn't want to just look at my phone and just kind of be like bored, you know. It actually kept me into the movie, which is a very good thing. So I didn't have a problem with that. So that's kind of a roundabout way of covering that movie, but I also want to talk about like animatronics in movies in general, because there's another one. This is a short film. It's not a long film at all. But I seen it when Corey Kenshin, he's famed from YouTube videos basically. Anyway, he used to do like spooky scary Sundays or whatever. I think that's it. Anyway, and he would have like scary like videos he'd watch, and short videos, some of them off of YouTube or whatever, and random like small film creators, just regular people would make films, and they would send it to him, and he'd watch them and all that stuff. And some of you people already know who this guy is probably, and I mean, you probably know, I mean, he's a very likable guy. I enjoyed watching his videos. So anyway, I only know about this because of him, because he watched this short film. It was a Hulu like Halloween short film, and it's called The Hug, and it's basically Chuck E. Cheese, Five Nights at Freddy's, Willy's Wonderland type of thing, where you got the animatronic thing, and you got a snobby little bratty kid that wants to actually go, wants the animatronics to sing for him or whatever, to do their thing. And of course, there's a guy that's at the pizza place that says, well, no, you can't do that, because he even the whatever animatronic character has to take a break sometimes, And so the kid's like a little snobby little brat, and he steals the key or whatever, and he goes back or whatever. I think he steals the key. Anyway, whatever. He ends up going back, and of course there's a party and everything. I shouldn't even give it away. You just watch it. It's like maybe a 5-minute video. It's not even long. It's a good one though, and it has the Five Nights at Freddy's, Chuck E. Cheese gone to hell kind of vibe to it, and it's a creepy little video, and I think it's a good one. So yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that, since I'm talking about this animatronics that are evil kind of theme. But anyway, I don't want to talk forever about this. I just like to do a short little video and talk about these things. So tell me what you think in the comment section below, and like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.